So here we go then, folks. We're going to carry on with Lily, the Volvo 240, and the TÜV or MOT or inspection, whatever you want to call it, preparation. I've got a fun one for you today. It's something I've done before. It's probably a lot more fun to watch than it is to do. It's not an easy job, but we'll do our best. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you guys something. So I got a package very kindly sent from a subscriber. Now I've already opened it, just in case it was a bomb or, you know, human body parts. Really cool stuff, just a cool little package. So it's all stuff for the 240 that we can use. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you a lot for that. So yeah, we'll put all this to good use. I'm going to start straight away with getting the coil pack on there, and we'll check the air filter. Actually, I'll do that off camera because it's not that exciting. What is exciting So hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of Volvo 240 ASMR, or a feeble attempt at it anyway. So you probably noticed that this light was a little bit sticky. Put the high beam on and it didn't do anything, and I didn't touch anything, and then after a few seconds it came on by itself. This one was fine. It's a Volvo 240, this is just how they are. I don't mind that, it's part of her personality, you know. She's a little bit alive, I would say. She definitely gives off the impression that there's a soul in there anyway. So yeah, or you could just say it's just 240 electrics that aren't very good, and they're also now 35 years old, so they're just full of gremlins and things that happen. But she's mostly good. This is not looking correct. So the clips that actually keep these reflectors in, you can see this one, it's actually snapped. So now the reflector's actually sitting against the glass. So obviously the headlight aim is going to be way off. You can see it's like rusty and just not shiny anymore. These cars look really good, and it really makes a big difference if you replace those reflectors as well. So to remove the headlights, it's these nuts here. Yeah, not the best. So yeah, the difficult part isn't how to get on them. It's kind of tight in there, but when you look at the state of them, now if we're lucky, because they're so rusty, they'll snap. For once, actually, it's a good thing if they just snap. It's probably one of the only times that that's actually a good thing, because if they don't, they'll just spin. So you can't undo it. So you've got two choices really. You have to cut it off from the back, or like I say, it's a good thing when they snap, but usually one snaps and another one spins. So then you have to do the second thing anyway, which is take the headlight apart without removing it from the car. It's not a very nice thing to do at all. So you have to get a screwdriver in there and just start breaking everything. Oh, there's another one there. It's been a while. Bit WD just to help the clips off. She's on a lead because she's a house cat. She spent most of her life in a flat, so in Berlin. So we can't let her off now. She wouldn't know what to do. Yeah, the important thing with this job is not to rush, because that's when it goes wrong. It was about to fall off. Nearly lost it. pretty tired, isn't it, inside? So you can see all the fading. I didn't break that, that was already broken. So you can see the problem straight away. It's those things, and they just spin inside there. Of course, the pressure from turning them from rusted nuts on bolts, of course that torque is going to be way more than what some 35-year-old plastic, even when it was new, can hold. Of course it's just going to spin in there, isn't it? So yeah, not the best idea at all. But so basically now we need to drill these out, and then we can actually remove the bucket. Miss Involvo'd's toenail clippers to the rescue every time, all the time. These things are a godsend. So yeah, one down, 1, 2, 3, 5 to go. Rust, fresh rust in progress, so that'll be from all the salt, that will. And I'm noticing, I haven't had a proper look yet, but whilst I was taking it apart, under there, rust, and some other spots as well, just generally, yeah, under there, look. It's quite bad, isn't it? So we'll have to treat all that obviously whilst we're in the area. So I am quite grateful to be doing this job, to find all this and get it now before it gets out of hand. So it doesn't look that bad under here, does it really? Overall it's pretty good, but that's this whole car, like it's mostly good. I'm not gonna like repaint it and restore it and do all that sort of stuff. You guys know me better than that by now. You can't see this, I'm not worried about it being nice and waxed and shiny blue. But we don't want rust, and we don't want it to be dirty, of course. So I want to get all the filth out, and then I'll probably spray it all down with fluid film, let that soak in, let that creep and do its work, do its magic. And then we'll get on there and we'll brush over with something thicker, probably some perma film or something, and seal it all off. And yeah, then she should be good to go. Just rust. It's nothing bad at the moment, but you know, those of you that know these cars, you know how quickly it just turns into holes and things just start falling off because it's not galvanized. So as soon as it starts, you know, it's over as quick as it begins, it seems. So one thing I did want to check is the adjusters. This one's fine, but this one, it doesn't turn, so we'll need to make sure we can get that free. Yeah, that's not what we want to see, is it? We need to get that turning. Let's see. Does that fit? Yeah. That's good, that's turning. Perfect. I'll just leave that on there, so that'll be the adjuster, 13mm. Someone recommended this before on the channel. I can't remember who it was, but thank you to whoever it was. I think it was a couple of people actually. It's been a lifesaver. It's really, really good stuff. See, I've just degreased everything, cleaned up the glass, so that's nice and clear now. Yeah, the buckets, they're not perfect, but they don't need to be. Yeah, I'm going to glue this piece back together. That'll be fine for a bit longer. And yeah, so whilst they're drying, the next step afterwards will be to actually epoxy some new bolts in there so we can secure the headlights properly. But we'll wait for it to dry fully. In the meantime, we're back on the metal, and yeah, time to do some rust treating. So I think the plan of action for this top part will be to use owatrol, so that'll be nice and dry. And then under here, where we're not actually, where we can't see and where we're not going to touch and things like that, fluid film is going to be perfect, especially because we want to get something that's going to go in between these seams and creep all the way in. And so that we're a bit more protected into the future, we'll hit it with the perma film over the top of the fluid film just to seal it all in, and that should last for a very long time. So I think you could actually paint the outside of your car with this if you had like a rat look rusty old thing. You can use this because it's clear, or mostly clear, to stop the rust from really getting much worse but preserve the look. We'll sand this down now, flat, get it as flat as possible, and then we'll get some epoxy on the back of a bolt head, put it in, and then epoxy the hole afterwards, and they should be nice and secure in there. Yeah, so hopefully this will do the job. It seems to be all singing, all dancing. It's all the stuff, weather protection, temperature protection, everything. So yeah, we'll mix it up. Ooh. So I pushed that all the way in, and as we saw, there was epoxy on the bottom of it, and I'll put some on the top after as well. Just smear it in there just to seal it off. So there we go, hopefully that's going to do the job. Got the epoxy in there. So now that the epoxy's set, it's nice and rock hard, so we shouldn't have any problems there now. So I took out these adjusters as well and put some anti-seize on the threads so they should stay spinning nicely by hand. And yeah, we've got some new screws in there as well and things like that. So yeah, get the new bits chucked on. Doesn't feel nice. Doesn't feel natural. There we go. Luckily all this stuff only goes on one way, one side. It doesn't fit on both headlamps, so it's mostly idiot proof. So I'm going to say straight away, it's not the prettiest. I'm not going to say it looks the best, and certainly not nearly as nice as it would if you just actually painted it. It's still a little bit tacky here because it's like elasticy. Either way, it's protected. That's the most important thing, and it looks okay, you know, from a distance. We'll just raise that one slightly to match that one, and we'll probably call it good, and then we'll let them tweak it if they need to anymore, but I think that's probably about where it wants to be.